talked about the being compassionate with yourself. So how can be like more compassionate with yourself? Because yeah, if you can just.
So how to be more compassionate to self? This is, first we have to know why we should practice being compassionate. Why? Because when we are being compassionate to ourselves, then only we can sustain long term. If I'm continuously being harsh or tough, or thinking that, oh, waking up early will make me a tough person, I can deal with challenges by waking up early. So what am I doing? I am running towards getting tired very fast. Our life is a marathon, not a sprint. We don't have to run a 100-meter race, 200-meter race, or relay race. Okay, we need to keep running. It's like a marathon. You know how the marathon is. We don't speed up. We run, but we do maintain our pace. So we have to be compassionate so that we can remain consistent in our journey in life. Okay, if you will become harsh, if you become tough in your thinking process, you will get tired. You're like, itna sab kiya fir bhi kuch nahi mila. So better take it easy because there's a lot to do.
In a close relation, and in a close relation, the action of the other person is like influencing you, and they are not listening to you, and they are okay with whatever they are doing, and they don't give a like heed to your decision, taking your concern into your in their decision, and you feel like you're doing so much for them, and they're like just not even considering you. Sometimes happens. So
okay, so there are two things. Am I becoming an overpouring bucket? Now what is overpouring? I have been giving a lot. As a result, at the end, I'm all empty from within. So first step number 1 is I need to set a boundary. I should give little. I will give only so much which other person can take. Easy to understand, step number 1. That is number 1 boundary. I will not be an overpouring bucket, over attention, over emotions, over caring. I need to set a boundary over there so that my self-esteem, my self-respect is intact. Okay. Step number 2 is I need to make peace with the fact, just like my 5 fingers are not same, people in my life, people in my family will not be same. I need to accept this fact. Step number 2 is I need to accept it. Step number 3 is I need to forgive. Forgiving myself for trusting wrong people, for overvaluing others and keeping myself behind, and forgiving others for they not knowing what they are doing to me, or they liking what they are doing to me, even if it is making me sad or unhappy. Okay. And then step number 3 again comes, I need to make peace with few facts in life. Making peace. ये नहीं कि forgive कर दिया तो again I start becoming a pouring bucket. I need to make peace with the fact, yes, I will not have 100% stars in my family or in my close relation.
I could really relate to the positive toxicity that you explained. It's more like since childhood, like my mom was like programmed or conditioned us to be like very punctual.
Right.
But the problem was that unconsciously I got so much tied up to the clock thing that I started being hard on me, like ये इसी time पे होना ही है types.
Right.
Then I developed an attitude like I even tried the same thing with my family members, with my husband, with my daughter, and after a certain time I thought that I'm doing more harm to me by being like over punctual.
Yes.
In that case.
Yes.
So then I started programming me like let it go, like let it just pacify a bit, and like it's okay to be not to be punctual and all that. But then now I'm shifting to a different thing where now I think this, yes, discipline is a must. It has to happen. और ये सब अगर चीजें होनी है तो वो time पे होनी है. So I'm again back to that point where now I'm not able to decide whether being maybe I'm like trying to cling on to the points. The direct end points is what I feel.
Okay. So here again, discipline is very much subjective to what kind of task list you have. Suppose if you have to catch a flight, there the discipline represents you to be on time. Yeah. Okay. So for that matter, I need to program myself that any task before that which I have to complete, I should be completing it on time. So I should be disciplined in my list of tasks also. ये अभी करना है और can it wait? Discipline in terms of my priority setting, discipline in terms of what kind of people I'm talking to or engaging myself, discipline in my thoughts. Am I a disciplined person in my thoughts, or do I keep on thinking negative, or do I remain harsh on myself, or do I live in my past or in my future? So discipline is a very subjective word, depends on which scenario we are using it on. Okay, so you have to relax first, ask yourself what is an ideal timeline. So suppose if there is a breakfast time, now I have lived in a hostel, so my breakfast time, there is a schedule. That was not the case in the house. In the house it was 7 o'clock, you have to finish your breakfast. But in my hostel time, I had the duration 7:30 to 8:30. Have your breakfast in this particular timing. Now this was more discipline for me. I could easily adapt to the time frame. So give yourself a time frame to practice discipline. It is easier.
I don't know if it is relevant in today's topic, but yesterday I was trying to ask you, like, how do we navigate through difficult, like the sad emotions, or, you know, we are going to experience them at some point or the other. So do we live in a denial for those, okay, nahin, I should be happy, I should. So how do we sort of, you know, or even socially, right? I mean, in these Corona times, we did, you know, see a lot of suffering and a lot of, I mean, we do feel grateful that it didn't happen to us. But how do we, you know, make peace with those kind of conflicts? Okay, bahar to itna, you know, it, I mean, people's lives are really affected, and
right. So there are few things which we need to take care on a virtual reality space, or when we are living in the real world, and when we are thinking that, okay, this is the reality, but what is happening outside is more, you know, terrible. How much exposure I am giving my mind with suffering is the number one thing which will help me decide whether I can be a peaceful person, easy person to live with the gift that I already have. See, when we are concentrating on other people's pain, we forget our own gifts. Now, if I have a gift to empathize with people, am I just simply supposed to feel sad and keep on empathizing? Or can I do something to make people feel easy? Where is my purpose of life? Because again, if I'm feeling sad for other people's pain, I'm becoming selfish. Because I came back to my sadness. I came back to my suffering. I'm not thinking about the other person. I may project, I may feel that I'm thinking about the other person, but actually I'm thinking about myself. I'm worried. What if mere saath bhi aisa ho gaya? How will I react? I start imagining things over there. How will I be if something terrible happens to me, or something similar terrible happens to me? So I need to make a choice. Who am I? What am I doing consciously? I need to give it a thought first. Second is, there will be a lot of dramatized news and dramatized version of people's pain and suffering all the way in news channels, or when you talk to people, it is highly dramatic. Too much of melodrama. If you go by the facts, number of deaths because of corona is only 0.1%, which is not being said out loud, because suffering sells. Suffering will always sell. Okay? This is how the mindset functions. So we need to be smart enough, okay, to choose, am I getting sold to suffering, or am I literally finding peace in my life? What am I doing here again?
I was just a basic query which I'm asking. See, at the end of the day, everything falls on the self. I mean, how action oriented I am. Definitely, every day, every time we used to visualize the things or make plans, and somehow they're not fruitful. Now, if we do the postmortem of those things, is there may be certain things we cover that due to some reasons our mind had given the reasoning that due to this reason you're not able to do, or let's procrastinate it and postpone and do these things. So
Okay.
at the depth of what I find, the reason is being somewhere we are not that I am not that mentally strong that if I had scheduled a goal, I should be disciplined enough to complete it. So one of the ways definitely could be the daily based assertion that I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, daily based assertion at the defined time period. But I'm looking out at what other ways through which I can make myself mentally strong, so that even if certain distraction comes to my goals or my certain plannings, I do not get distracted and be on the path.
Yes, very good question, solid question there. Amit, you need to first believe in yourself that you are already strong. You need to get rid of the past experiences of failures and make peace with the fact that nobody is perfect. Otherwise, I will always be in the loop of finding myself, struggling myself, stuck with my weaknesses. Okay, and third part is accept the fact we all have some strengths, we all have some weaknesses. Wherever you will focus, that will multiply. So if I'm focusing on my procrastination will be higher. But if I'm focusing on my power of desire, that will be higher. And yes, everything will come back to our own self, because we are the one who is breathing. We are the one who will get the result. Okay, whatever action that we take, and we are the one who will be either satisfied or not satisfied. So that is evident for everybody. Okay, now instead of over analyzing and then having the paralysis of analysis, that why do I procrastinate, a simple reason why we procrastinate is because we are doing things out of our will. If we don't like it, we won't do it. Second, we would always feel less competent to do something where we need to simply remain an observer. Like, for example, do you go to movie? Like, do you watch movies? Okay. How is the activity of doing meditation? Do you do meditation?
Yeah, try it sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, which one is easier? Watching a movie is easier or doing a meditation is easier?
Definitely concentration is more on the movie as compared to meditation. The mind distracts many times and I have to again bring it down.
Right. So movie is easy to watch, right?
Exactly.
Right? Now, human brain is dramatically always inclined to easy work. जो काम बहुत easy हम वही काम ज़्यादा करेंगे. We are programmed like that. We don't like hard things. So then the question is, why do I try to compete with myself when I'm going for a meditation? Why watching a movie is easier? Because you're not competing with anybody. किसी को बोलना थोड़ी है, अरे मैंने बहुत अच्छे से मूवी देखा, मैंने बहुत अच्छे से फोकस किया. We don't have to compete, right? We don't have to tell anybody. But when we are meditating, what happens? We get into an ego. We start feeling, Are Baapre, how can I not focus in a meditation? Actually, in meditation also, you're supposed to watch a movie of your own thoughts. You're supposed to be simply relaxing. Meditation otherwise will become very, very tough. And meditation's purpose is to make us feel relaxed. Movie's purpose is to make us feel anxious and give us tension. Nobody feels relaxed after watching a movie. Everybody feels relaxed after doing a meditation. Am I correct? Am I correct? Yeah. So you have to change your approach towards the actions which are good for you. And you have to sit down and think, why am I not taking an action which is good for me? Why am self-destructing? Okay, why I'm on a path of self-destruction? Why I'm on a path of self-sabotaging? Okay, so then gradually you will come on the path of self-love. Okay.